So hello family, welcome to a new episode of this channel. Okay, my name is Paul Udom and today we'll be talking about change of course in University of Nigeria. You know, most people when they wrote JAM, they actually did not want to study the course that they are currently studying, but because of one thing or the other, they kind of okay, let me just manage. That's what they use, manage. And in life, whenever you are forced to manage something that you don't like doing, you don't love doing, you find out that you struggle a lot in that particular sphere of whatever you are struggling to do or whatever you are managing. So most people get admitted into studying different courses and different programs that they don't actually want. Normally, people that go downward for change of program are people that have a high cutoff mark during their JAM and their post-UTME, and they get admitted into a high-profile course like pharmacy, medicine, and stuff like that. While people that have low JAM score end up having a low-profile course, and they actually want to go higher. So that is moving upward. Okay, so we are going to look at the two scenarios and how you can do the change of course if you are in any of these situations. The first one I want to talk about is the upward movement, which is majorly, I think it's actually the one that is most sought after or most sought after. The upward movement is, for instance, you are in a low profile course and you want to go to a high profile course. Please, let me mention this. No course is simple. If you're watching this and you be like, okay, this course that this guy is mentioning is simple. When you're in a university system, no course is simple. All the courses have their own level of difficulty. Just that some courses are professional courses, while some other courses are not professional courses. In the video that is being displayed right now on the screen, I talked about professional course and the non-professional courses. Okay, so try to look that video out so that you can know the difference between professional course and non-professional course. If you are in a low-end course or low-end program, you want to move to a high-end program, there are criteria, there are things that you're supposed to have before you can move to this high-end program. So the first thing that you have to do is to collect the form for transfer of course. Now this form, you can actually get this form from either the admissions unit. The next step that you have to do, which is step number 2, is that you have to fill the form that you just collected. Okay, now filling this form may not necessarily take that long, but sometimes it may take a little bit long because of the information that they may require from those forms. You have to go to certain places for the people that are involved to sign. For instance, your HOD will have to sign, your departmental officer will have to sign, and some other signatures like that. So that may make the form stay with you for a period of 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes close to a month, because of those individuals that will have to approve your transfer. Now, after you must have filled this form, you have to submit the form before the resumption of the next semester. Let's say the next session, I mean to say, because before, if you have to submit, they'll have to consider your admission before the beginning of the new session if you are approved. Now, speaking of approval, before you are approved, the department that you are moving to and the department you are moving away from, they'll look at your eligibility to be sure that you can actually move to this different department that you are actually intending to move to. Most of the time, they'll tell you that the minimum CGPA for transfer of course is about 1.0, but people that have actually gotten a high CGPA of about 4 point something, they struggle. So if you actually have an intention to move to a different course, actually what I heard from a very reliable source is that you have to have a CGPA of 5.0. Now, what does 5.0 mean? 5.0 means that you have to have A in all your year 1 courses. Now, other information that I would like to mention in this video is that if you are moving from a biological science department to another biological science department, for instance, you are moving from physiology to pharmacy in your year 2. Remember, it's not remember. The thing is that pharmacy students do offer math in their year 1 first semester, math 111 and math 121. Now, if you are moving from physiology to pharmacy in your year 2, you may need to do that math. So invariably, you'll be in year 1 instead of year 2. Please be careful of your documents. please be careful, because most of the time, if you lose that document, you may not be able to get them back. So try as much as you can to make sure that you're very, very careful to keep those documents in a safe place, and don't move around too much with them, and don't, because if they miss, UNN is big. In most cases, if you lose your documents, that could be it. So please be careful with your document, because you are going, especially your receipts, those small piece of paper, you're going to need them moving forward for your clearance, for your everything moving forward. Okay. Now, most of the time they'll ask how much is the change of cost form. Actually, currently the change of cost form is 75,000 naira. That is what is there in the UNN change of cost profile. But from the information that I got also, it's not that simple, because sometimes you have to make other payments. I'm not certain, I'm not 100% certain where the other payments do go to, but you have to keep some amount of money other than the 75,000 naira aside, so that you can use those other ones for like some other important stuff that are not actually included in the 75,000 naira. How certain are you that you will transfer if you have all these criteria, like the 5.0 CGPA, you have 75,000 naira, you have all your documents kept in place and everything like that? What is the possibility? What's the possibility that you move to your new department? Okay, now the thing is that there are factors that may hinder you moving to the next department. Number one factor is that the population of people that wants to move. Now, in pharmacy, as I heard, the population of people that are moving from a low profile course or low profile program to pharmacy is huge. So if you actually want to move to pharmacy, what may hinder your movement will be one, the number of people that are moving, the particular time that you want to move. Number two is that the time of submission of your form, because most people I think it's at this point is first come first serve. So if somebody had submitted 2 months earlier the form 2 months earlier, then I think they are going to consider that person. They are going to consider that person's application, especially if you people have the same eligibility, like the same CGP and stuff like that. They are going to consider this other person's movements compared to yours. And there's another one that is called God factor, okay? Because if God is by you, no one can be against you, if you know what I mean. What I'd like to mention before I go is the movement of people that are from a higher department to a lower department. Okay. Now, if you want to move from pharmacy to microbiology, I think that one is a softer move, because most of the time they will not want. It's actually rare for you to see people moving from a higher department to a lower department. In most cases, it is due to poor academic performance, and it kind of feels bad mentioning that. Okay. Because some people, when they're in a higher department like medicine and surgery or pharmacy, they cannot survive very well in those terrain. So they may have to move to lower departments, and that is what happens most of the time when you see people moving from a higher department to a lower department. But sometimes some people do clear their subject, but because of the feel out of, say, health issues or stuff like that, one issue or the other, they'll move from a higher department to a lower department. That one is easier. You still have to get your 75,000 naira, get the transfer form, make sure that you fill it, give everybody that is supposed to sign it, and then you submit it, and then wait for the approval. In most cases, the downward movement is always approved. It's almost always approved. And if you are really, really desperate to leave your old department, I think what's the easiest one is for you to get a JAM form. When you are in year 1 and you don't like your current department, instead of leaving school and quitting and then hoping that you have the JAM result that is going to take you to the new department, I think the best thing for you to do is continue your school and then write your JAM for your new department, and then try to get as high score as possible so that you can easily move. You get, so when JAMB gives you the admission, you get the cutoff mark of the post-UTME and the JAMB and the post-UTME. You can move to your new department and quit your old department, like withdraw. They'll think that you've withdrawn, but you just move to a new department. I think that is the easiest way to move, and it is cheaper. Not that there's JAMB have a lot of uncertainty, but you can calculate the certainty of JAMB depending on how you do in your result, you get. But the uncertainty that covers the whole transfer process is a little bit harder than the JAMB uncertainty, if you understand what I'm saying. Thank you for watching to this moment. If you like my video, please click the thumbs up button. Is it button or screen? Anyway, and if you would want to watch more of my video, please don't care to subscribe, okay? And you that is watching right now that have not subscribed yet, you can actually click on the subscription button to help your guy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a pharmacy student. If you have any information about pharmacy, I don't know everything about pharmacy because I'm just a new pharmacy guy in University of Nigeria, but I ask a lot of questions. That is why I even made this video, so that as I'm asking, I'm telling you, and as you ask me, if I don't know, I can ask the people that know more than I do, and then I'll tell you the answers to those questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.